we're going to review some very, very basic integrals. And we're going to take a look at these ones here. Let's start with this first one, 1a x cubed minus 2x squared plus 7. Remember, when we do a basic integral like this, we always add 1 to the exponent and divide by the new exponent. Same thing over here, add 1 to the exponent. And divide by the new exponent. Same thing over here. Now, of course, this is like x to the 0 power. So we can just call this 7x. And since we don't have bounds, we're going to have to always add a constant. Again, always add 1 to the exponent and divide by that new exponent. Now, the second one here, we have a product, so we can't integrate until we multiply out the product. Now, there are going to be some cases later when we have cases where we might do substitution, stuff like that. But for right now, if we have a product, we're going to multiply it out first. And don't let the fact that we have u instead of x, don't let that hold you back. Because this is du instead of dx, so it works just the way the x's do. Again, multiply. However you FOIL these, it's up to you. You can actually just multiply this by each component. So you can take 4u times 3 plus minus 4u times 2u. Then do the same over here. Take 5 times 3. Then 5 times minus 2. And let's not forget our integration sign. We should put some brackets around here. Again, I just took 4u times this, 4u times this, 5 times this, 5 times this, and we want to simplify this a little bit. Hopefully I can squeeze it in here. So here we're going to have 12u, and this is going to be 8u squared. This is going to be 15, and this is going to be 10u. So we can combine the positive 12u and the negative 10u. We put those together. And then we can put the minus 8u cubed, 8u squared at the front. And then put these two together. That'd be plus 2u and plus 15. This. And then integrate this. So again, once we got rid of the product, we can now integrate this. Remember, we can't integrate this the way it is. So we had to multiply everything out and integrate this. Just like before, we're going to add 1 to the exponent and divide by that new exponent. Add 1 to the exponent and divide by the new exponent. And of course, this is a constant, so we'll just add u there. And then plus c. And of course, you should simplify this. You can see this can be simplified pretty right here, the twos will cancel. Finally, take a look at this last one here. Just like before, we're gonna add 1 to the exponent. And again, even though they're fractions, we'll still add 1. So again, this is 5 halves. If we add 1, that's 7 halves. And divide by 7 halves. And over here, we have 2/3. And if we add 1 to that, we'll get 5/3. And divide by 5/3. And over here, add 1 to the negative a half. And so if we add 1 to negative a half, gives us a half. Divide by a half. Again, because remember, we're always adding a positive 1. So if we have a negative a half and we're adding a positive 1, gives us a positive a half. And then same over here. We have a negative 5 in the exponent. We're going to add 1. That gives us a negative 4. 5 by the negative 4 plus C like this. Again, even though we have fractions, still do everything the same way. Add 1, add 1, add 1 here, add 1 here. And you could simplify this a little. I won't take time to do it. We can make this 2/7, and then have this as 3/5. And of course, you can multiply the 2's out, 2 into 3, and make it 6/5. Bring this up. This could be 14. And we could also cancel the negatives. Let me actually do that just to make it look a little bit nicer. So this would be 2/7. And then we bring this 3 up here, that's going to be negative. This. Bring this 2 up. Cancel these negatives here. And now one thing we also probably want to do is bring this in the denominator. Plus. So what I did was take the reciprocal of these fractions in the denominator, multiply these out. Same thing over here. Over here, canceled the negatives and brought this x to the negative 4 into the denominator. We'll continue on with very basic integrals. And so let's take a look at these two. Now, once again, these are products here, so we're going to multiply these out first before we integrate. We can't integrate this the way it is, nor that the way it is. So, of course, this is like y to the first, and this is y to the 1/2. So if we multiply those two, we'll add the exponents. That'll be y 3/2. And again, this is like y to the first. And this is y to 3/2. So we add exponents, we'll get y to the 5/2. this. And then now that we've gotten rid of the product, we've multiplied this out, we can integrate this. Again, add 1 to the exponent. Add 1 to the exponent here. This. And divide by the new exponent. And finally, it might look nicer to bring this up. Now I should have a spot C here. And then again, if we bring this up, this is going to be 2/5 y to the 5/2. This would be minus 2/7 y. Let me read it like this. Y 7/2 plus c like this. Again, all I did was take the reciprocal of this and of this. Now let's take a look at this one here. Now, once again, over here, this is the quotient. So we'll have to work this out first. And over here, let's bring this to the numerator. And so this is going to be the integral of 3x to the minus 2. And over here, we divide this out. That's going to be 1/x. Now, you may not have had the integral of this yet. This would be the same as the integral of like x to the minus 1. You may have not had that, but I'll put this down. That's actually just going to be the log. Again, you're probably going to learn that in Calc 2, but let me just go ahead and do this. So again, just like before, add 1 to the exponent here. And again, that's going to give us minus 1 over minus 1. And again, if you're integrating 1/x, or that's same as x to the minus 1, this is always going to be log. This, and finally, if you maybe want to make this look a little bit nicer, again, the integral of 1/x is the natural log of x. So that's where that comes from. If you haven't seen that yet, that's okay. Don't worry about that. You'll see that in Calc 2. Next, so let's look at these two integrals. Once again, we have a quotient here, so we're going to have to divide things out before we can integrate. And of course, this is like w to the 1/2. And if we bring this up, this is like w to the -1. So we can put those two together. And just so we remember that we can break up our fractions in this way, since we can keep the same denominator here as here. Let me put that extra step in case you've forgotten. We have this. And then if we were to bring this up, this would be like W to the -1. And when we multiply these W to the 1/2 times W to the minus, when we add exponents, this is going to be W to the -1/2. And when you bring this one up, this is going to be W to the -1/3. And all I did was bring this up, multiplied the W's, added the exponents, -1/2, -1/3 over there. And again, if we integrate this then over here, add 1 to the exponent, which will give us 1/2 divided by 1/2. If we add 1 to the exponent there, this is going to give us W to the 2/3 divided by 2/3. We just added 1 to each exponent and then put a plus C. And this is going to be 2. Like this, and we can actually get rid of that. And then this will be 3/2. This plus C. Now on G here, we have a product, and actually it's the whole thing is a quotient, and actually should have a dx out here, shouldn't I? And so we're gonna have to multiply things out and divide before we can even think about integrating. So again, let's multiply this times this. I'm gonna take some shortcuts. And this is x to the first. This is x to the 3/2, so we'll add the exponents when we multiply. That's going to give us x to the 5/2, x squared. Then this is like x to the 1/2 times x to the 3/2, so we add exponents. That's going to give us x to the 4/2 or x squared. Then we multiply this times this. This is going to be x to the 1/2 times x to the first. Add exponents. That'll give us x to the 3/2. Excuse me, this should be negative. X to the 3/2 like this. Again, so notice here that when we multiply these out, these two terms are going to cancel. That'll make things a little bit nicer. And let's go ahead and cancel those. And that's going to just leave us with this term and this term. And now, so we're going to have the integral of x to the 5/2 divided by x to the 3/2. When we bring this up, this would be negative x to the 3/2. We add the exponents, that's going to be x to the first. And now over here, again, these are already canceled. Those are gone. And then this is going to be x to the 3/2 divided by x to the 3/2. That's going to be -1. This. Now we really simplified the integral quite a bit. And go ahead and integrate this. this will be x squared over 2 minus x plus c like this. And that's our answer. So again, it's always important to remember when you have products or quotients, you have to simplify things before you even attempt to integrate. You can't integrate two products like this together. You have to multiply them out.